not to be cliche, but life really is short. The time is passing by so quickly, and we all are in charge of our lives. And instead of just wondering what if, I thought I'm going to instead start thinking to do it.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Demi Karpouzos. Previously, episode 717 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 3 years, 1 month, 20 days, 19 hours, and 30 minutes since we last had that recorded conversation. That was then. This is now. Demi, how are you doing today?
I am amazing. Thank you for asking.
Well, I'm so glad and honored to have the opportunity to go on this time machine ride from the time we spoke to now, to update the amazing audience as to how your journey has evolved. So please give us an update.
Thank you for asking, and thank you for this opportunity. I love chatting with you the first time, and so to be able to do this again is a true honor. So I have packed up. Before I was doing more business coaching and focusing more on marketing. I decided to close up shop and rebranded or reopen a different business. So there's that. I've done a lot of traveling, which I've enjoyed, and have been really focusing on deepening my connections with my family and friends. I found that to be the most valuable focus for my time.
Wow. So you were doing the virtual summits, right? You were helping entrepreneurs with that.
Yes.
And then you packed up, what, a couple of months after we spoke, or?
It was actually, I would say probably 4 to 5 months after we last spoke.
So was there an epiphany that occurred?
It was almost like a low-grade hum that had been occurring. I just realized that as I was speaking with people, sure, marketing strategies are great and, it would lead to money. However, it would be short-lived. People, we're all pretty basic creatures, and we can talk ourselves out of and into anything. And I just realized the importance of really getting down to being able to build one's self-trust and self-belief. And that has been my focus. So
some people spend an entire lifetime to get that message. And then some people get the message and then take time to make the decision, right? Sometimes a lifetime. Is there something that surrounds you that helps you? Is it spiritual, or is it accountability that helps you to make the decision of that low hum?
Wow, that's an amazing question. I think it's a combination thereof. It's definitely, I'm a very spiritual person, so it was that, and then the accountability, and not being able to deny what that low grade hum in the background was all about. I realized I was turning to more coping mechanisms, scrolling through Facebook looking for the meaning of life, and not having the energy, not going to bed feeling fulfilled. And it just, at some point, I had to pay attention. And for me, I'm one of those people that I need to really be put in a pressure cooker before I'll do something. So that's essentially what happened. I was feeling more disenchanted as time passed, and decided, what, life is, not to be cliche, but life really is short. The time is passing by so quickly, and we all are in charge of our lives. And instead of just wondering what if, I thought I'm going to instead start thinking to do it.
You went not just to do something normal but extraordinary from a numbers figure, right? You built a business that was, or is, my apologies, multi-six figure. When you look back, and again, this is on a referral system, right? This is not something that you placed ads on, right? It's not. It means that the product is good. How does it feel looking at you making the decision then and the rewards now?
It was terrifying, I'm not going to lie. Having that type of income coming in and being able to enjoy what that entails as well, feeling a sense of security and all that other stuff. It really took me a minute to figure out that what was more important to me. And So looking at it now, I couldn't be happier, and that's the goodness, honest truth. There really is nothing better than how you feel day to day and how excited you are about your life. And if something is robbing you of your joy, not to say that my business was doing that, but it definitely wasn't bringing me a whole lot of joy, then there's no monetary value that you can place on that. And money can always be built. And so the lessons I learned in building that business can be applied to anything. So it was the character building that part of my journey did for me that I can now replicate into anything that I do. And so now I've chosen to do something that just lights my soul on fire. And I couldn't be happier.
Building the grit muscle, right? Helping others build the grit muscle. Yeah, explain that to us. For us who don't know exactly what grits are.
Great question. So essentially, it's following through on the commitment you make to yourself. So not to others, because for me, although it is, you definitely want to be a person of your word, but it's more important to honor who you are and the goals that you set for yourself, the outcomes, the desires that you wish to have and experience in life, to have that grit muscle, to know that you are going to follow through and do things that you said you're going to do in order to get to those outcomes is imperative. And I don't mean, again, taking the joy out of something. I just mean the stories that we tell ourselves. If, let's say, you decide that you're going to, you want to start feeling more vibrant. And one of the ways that you want to do that is by moving your body daily. There are days that are going to come that you're not going to feel like it, but consistency isn't a feeling. And so you just focus on the outcome. And so knowing that that you are able to follow through even on the days that you don't feel like it. You may not move your body in a way that you did yesterday when you had a whole bunch of time or when you were feeling it at a 10, but the fact that you still go out and do it, you add to your trust account of knowing that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. So essentially it's about mastering your mindset.
It's important to identify who we are, isn't it? Because in what you just expressed there, yes, trusting yourself is very important, but then not trusting yourself is very important as well. And let me just align that correctly so it's understood. Because the same you who said, I'm going to go for this, right, could be the same you on a specific day when all of the other things that happen that make the same you say, I'm not too sure I want to do that. So it's really understanding and trusting the you that has made the decision to go forward in something and then come back to that. Is that accurate? To come back to that space and say, no, the me that said this is the person I'm trusting now. Is that accurate?
Oh, that is brilliant. Yes, exactly. Very accurate. It's learning to trust that inner voice and knowing the difference between the voice that's you, the one that wants to go ahead or not go ahead and why, and then the voice that is wanting to keep you complacent or comfortable.
Self-sabotage, right? The you that comes into self-sabotage, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. That just opened up there. Now, there seems to be, in your earliest childhood memory, when you shared that, at the beginning of our conversation, you said that you're focusing more on family. And your brother did that, right? You said he carried you to the bathroom, right? And like a gentleman, he turned around. He's 7, you're 4. Isn't that amazing, though, to see the parallel of, hey, this is where I should place my focus and the treasure and value, the wealth, if you would, that comes from that.
You are so good at this. Yes, thank you for doing your research, and I can only imagine how intense it has been for you having all these conversations, and so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, it's funny how this journey has unfolded, and going back to what I've always known, but kind of veered away from as I got distracted with the other things, or I allowed myself to be distracted by the other things in life, and then realizing what really does matter to me, what actually lights me up and fuels me. And that's having connection with people, having this conversation like that, and being very present and being an active listener, which you're amazing at. Just this is what lights me up, and knowing that this is what I want to invest my time and energy into.
That conversation of death, the possibility that we could go today or tomorrow, is it something that you align with every day, or is it something that sits on the back shelf and it's in the back of your mind? How do you approach that conversation, the conversation of death?
I am... It's something that is very prevalent in my thinking and the decisions that I make. I don't know if it'd be different if I had dependents. I'm not sure, but I tend to take more risks because of that. I'm making more choices that make me feel more alive, and that seems to be the gauge that I measure it against. It's realizing the importance of if today was the day that I was able to go all out as me. Tomorrow, maybe I don't die, but maybe I don't have function of one of my body parts or something. Not taking it for granted and making the decisions based on who I am, my capabilities today, and who I'm wanting to become, and then seizing it as much as I can.
Love it. Amazing audience. Again, you're hearing it live from Demi. Demi, for those that are listening that want to connect with you, where's the best place for them to go?
I would say maybe on Instagram. It is at demigod_s.
I love how you use the Demi there. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Love that. All right. Well, Demi, it's been a great pleasure. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, this has been absolutely amazing, and I'm hoping that I can connect people with people online and send me a message so that I know that you've come through this show, and then we could take it from there.
There we go. Again, a pleasure. I treasure Demi Karpouzos. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.